Ma'am, when we read magazines or pocketbooks, we gain knowledge on our personal interests. So I think in this case, studies serve for pleasure.
That's right, Enrica. Any other examples? Can I have Amy?
Ma'am, I remember my parents would always remind me to study hard, so after college I'll have a good job. They are even encouraging me to take up computer studies. In this case, I think that my parents consider studies a way of improving our economic status. This answers the second example given by Bacon.
Excellent example. How about the third one?
Ma'am, I remembered enrolling in a baking class last summer so that I could gain knowledge on how to bake cakes. Now, I think that's a good example on using studies for ability.
Good idea there, JP. Now, do you think you could sample your cake sometime?
I think I'll be happy to include you in the list of my victims.
Oh. Okay, seriously now. Of these three reasons, which one does Bacon seem to favor most? Yes, Aika.
I believe he favors the third one based on the example that he gives. Well, according to the sentence, he says that crafty men condemn studies, simple men admire them, and wise men use them.
And what does crafty mean, Aika?
Well, I look up the meaning of crafty in the dictionary, and it means people who are cunning. I think it is also similar to being street smart.
That's right, Aika.
Well, I also think that in the sentence, Bacon shows that studies or studying to gain ability is the most important of the three uses of studies. Well, he proves his point by using wise men as examples in contrast with what crafty and simple-minded men do.
Okay, and what do the others have to say? Do you agree with Aika? Yes, Jomer?
Yes, ma'am. I agree with Aiko. Bacon also mentioned that expert men make good judgment, and he believed that the plot and marshalling of affairs come best from those that are learned.
That's true. And what warning does Bacon present regarding over-dependence on studies? Could you read to us the line that best answers this question, Christine? Yes, Christine.
The fourth sentence of the essay reads, "To spend too much time in studies is sloth, to use them too much for ornament is affectation, to make judgment wholly by their rules is the humor of a scholar."
And Christine, what is meant by sloth?
Sloth means laziness. I think Bacon means that excessive study for pleasure makes one over-indulgent or lazy.
Okay, very good. How about affectation? Yes, Jomer?
I think affectation means pretentious attitude. By this, I think Bacon want to relate to us that some learned people tend to show off what they learn from their studies.
That's true. And what is meant by humor of a scholar? Yes, JP?
I think Bacon means that it is very impractical for a person to rely heavily on studies to make good judgment. Or in short, Bacon says that we shouldn't be bookish.
Good idea. Now, let's look at the outline that we have written here so far. Is there anything else that we should add here? Yes, Enrica?
Ma'am, I think the first major topic ends there because the next part talks about reading.
That's true, Enrica. Now, what would you say is the second major topic?
For the second major topic, I think that Bacon suggests the proper approach to reading books.
Very good. So, approaches to reading Did you get that? Okay, very good. As we continue our discussion of the essay, let's try to complete our outline.
Can you identify the type of essay which the class is discussing? You're right. Francis Bacon's essay might be considered formal because of its tone and seriousness of purpose. Moreover, the writer's choice of language reveals a careful, polished style. The essay, as you know, is conveniently classified as formal, also called impersonal, and informal or personal and familiar. The formal essay deals with serious and important topics such as science, philosophy, education, politics, and the like. The development of the topic reveals the authoritative and scholarly stance of the writer, whose main purpose is to explain, to persuade, or to give instruction. Hence, it is the discussion of the topic that counts more than the writer's evaluations or opinions. The organization of the topic as well as its supporting points. The second type of essay is the informal or personal. Unlike the formal essay, this type does not dwell with serious or scholarly thoughts, but focuses on commonplace and ordinary subjects instead. Here, the main source of interest is the personality of the writer, as revealed in his or her thoughts, witty observations, mood or attitude, and style of expression. The tone of the informal essay is conversational, since its main purpose is to amuse and entertain. The essay also has other forms, which are classified as follows: the descriptive essay, the biographical essay, the critical essay, the editorial essay, the reflective essay, and the informative essay. Please refer to your teaching support materials, or TSM, for specific examples of these different types. Let's go back to the class we saw earlier and find out how the teacher wraps up her discussion of the formal essay.
Class, here's a completed outline of Bacon's essay. Looking at this outline, how would you classify this type of essay? Christine.
Ma'am, this is an example of a formal essay.
Okay, formal essay. What then are the characteristics of a formal essay?
Bacon's essay discusses a serious topic, and its language and organization is formal.
Okay, very good. Then what would you say is the purpose of this essay, Aika?
I find the essay very practical and useful because it gives us an advice on how to make the most of our studies.
Okay, that's a good idea. Now let's analyze the language and style of Bacon's essay. I have here some sentences from his essay. Okay. While I'm putting them on, please read the sentences. Okay. Now, what do you notice about the structure of the following sentences of this essay? Yes, Patricia.
The first example shows balance in presenting three ideas of equal importance and similar wording.
That's correct, Patricia. This rhetorical device is called parallelism. Now, here, repetition of sounds, meanings, and structures serves to order, emphasize, and point out relations. What about the second one? Okay, Amy?
Ma'am, the second example is like a saying that indicates a general truth.
Okay, very good. You know, this is called aphorism. Okay, aphorism, which is similar to an adage or a maxim. Like you said, this statement presents a generally accepted truth or sentiment. Okay, and then the last one. Okay, Christine?
Ma'am, the third example looks like parallelism in its repetition of words.
Okay, very good. Unlike parallelism, however, the anaphora, this one, uses repetition of words at the beginning of two or more successive clauses for poetic effect. Now, in the next two examples, here, this one, we find a combination of these rhetorical devices. Now, let's see if you can, point out other examples from the essay. Okay, this time, I'd like you to work with a partner. And then you go over the text once again. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes for this activity.
Did you take note of the elements which the teacher brought up in discussing the essay? When we return, we shall discuss the important elements in the reading of the essay. Don't go away.